Joining us now is somebody who could be compared to what Gumpy has been doing for the last 3 months, going basically undefeated as a gambler publicly. Some are calling him the GOAT already. Yeah. A GOAT already, and has been defined Olympic gold medalist. A name synonymous with our best team over the last, 10 to 15 years. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, U.S. Women's National Team member, captain, and record holder, Carli Lloyd. Yeah! Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
You know, it's a lot better now, Carli. Having a little greatness amongst us is good. You know, this show, his internet's terrible over there in Ohio. He wasn't even able to be a part of the show yesterday because it cut out. The boys in here, we're a bunch of idiots. Having greatness with us is great news. So thank you, Carli.
I'm honored. Awesome.
How was Tokyo? How was it? Obviously not the outcome we wanted, but anytime you get out there and break some records in history books, that has to be at least a little bit of a positive, right?
It was good. Obviously, we went there to win gold. We didn't accomplish that goal, but we came home with some hardware, just a little bit of a different color, bronze medal. So it was good. You know, it was a really tough and challenging trip. I'd be lying to say it was an amazing trip because with COVID and all the protocols, it honestly was not anywhere near an Olympic experience, but very grateful that they were able to hold the games and we were able to compete.
Okay, so let's talk. You guys are basically our only sure thing whenever it comes to, like, hey, our United States women's national team, soccer, they are hey, we got the win. We got the team that's better than everybody through the COVID year. And is it almost like, you know, it feels like it comes in generations too. Mia, Brandy, and then kind of now this generation has had so much success. Do you look at the team from, you know, the run that you guys have been on that has been incredible? And then is there a younger generation that's about to pick up the baton and continue to run this thing, you think, Carli?
You know, I can't speak for everyone else, but yeah, I mean, if you want to look at some of us, our ages, we can't play forever, unfortunately. So it's going to be very interesting to see the next cycle, the next wave of players. But that always happens. You know, a generation comes in and a generation leaves. So I think that we're closer to perhaps a generational shift with some players, you know, leaving within the next several years. And that's just the way it goes. So we're going to have to just continue to pass the baton and hope that this next generation continues the winning spirit.
Have you noticed anything of those, like these younger generations coming up as you've been around for a while and you're a veteran? Like, is it different now coming into soccer than it was when I guess you broke in, really?
It definitely was, yeah. I think just the world we live in now, there's a huge generational shift. I think, you know, the culture's a little bit different. The work ethic, the mentality's a little bit different. But I would say with, you know, the players coming in with the national team, they have the mentality, they have the fight and the grit. We just have to make sure that we continuously bring that because that's what's made this team so successful over the years. I've said it before. I think I said it in some of my interviews. You know, talent alone doesn't get you to the top, and talent alone doesn't win you championships. So you need to have the talent, but you also need to have a mentality and a fighting mentality to bring that with it.
Hey, your competitive edge is awesome. Is it in everything? Is it like, hey, we're throwing a bottle into a trash can? You know, because I don't know much about the women's national team, or I know a lot about our world, and our most competitive people are our most successful people. And whenever you're talking about your team, you guys have won so much so often. I assume it carries into everyday life. Are you competing in absolutely everything in your life, Carli?
I am a hardcore competitor, yes. Especially, you know, when I'm going at my husband, whether it's axe throwing, whether it's mini golf, we are ultra competitive, but that's just how I roll. I've always been like that.
Yeah, you have a championship mindset, which is why I thought, you know, you were potentially going to be the first woman to ever kick a football in the NFL, because in between the years, you have this mindset that is unshakable. And then I watched you hit a kickoff off the ground with Sam Cooke. You murdered that ball. I mean, it was absolutely slaughtered. Did you stick with that? When was the last time you kicked a football? I was excited for that. I was super pumped. We got an Olympic legend coming in and kicking and representing for the brand, and then it kind of dissipated a little bit. I guess soccer, got a little bit more important. But are we going to kick? Are we going to give in to kicking again, or what's going on?
I'm not sure. My day job kind of got in the way of that. So the last time I kicked was at that Eagles training session, which was probably a couple of years ago, I guess.
I mean, you murdered that ball, Carli. Full leg lock, too. I mean, not every soccer player can kick a football. That's what I think a lot of people get confused on. They're like, you know what? If a soccer player just goes and kicks, they'll be able to kick in the NFL. It's like, that is not accurate at all. Your swing seems to have a natural transition in it. You murdered that thing, Carli. I mean, you took more steps than a normal field goal approach, obviously, but let's go. Hey. Whenever you're ready, whenever the day job's done, I would like to offer up any potential inside information I can get from other people that are good for you to continue that dream, hopefully.
Yeah, it's somewhat similar. I mean, obviously, no pads, no helmet. I have quite a few steps there, but I've broken down my technique within the game of soccer so much, so I think that's why it's sort of easy for me to transition to kicking a field goal. It's a little bit different, but it's similar in some fashion.
So I have a friend since kindergarten who happens to be the CFO for this company. His name is CFO Phil. All right, he's numbers stooge. He has to run through all of the numbers. He has a beautiful family. His daughter, Bella, plays soccer. And obviously for little girls, not only around this country, but they're around the world, watching your team is massive inspiration and everything like that. If you had to speak to maybe you whenever you were young trying to make it and break into the Olympics or the Olympic team or anything like that to get into the pools, what would you do? What would you say to a young girl that was trying to make it into the U.S. women's national team and maybe carry that baton for years and years to come?
Well, I think it's incredibly difficult. That's why there's a select few that make it to the top, and even a more select few that stay at the top for so long. So I think that the biggest thing that I would say is embrace who you are. Be authentic and be comfortable in your own skin, and don't compare yourself to others. Don't compete against anyone else. Just try to be the best version possible every single day. And my motto that I live by every day is better every day. There's opportunities that we can all be better every day in whatever aspect that may be, and you've got to work incredibly hard to get to that point. So that was with my career, head down, sleeves rolled up, and just got to work. I never imagined having a career that I've had, but with hard work and many other things, you're able to achieve any dreams you want.
I think your microphone cut out there at the end, but I think you said also, Bella, Uncle Pat's the coolest dude to ever exist. I think I heard that. I appreciate you doing that, Carli. Go ahead.
That's right.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Carli, you said that it was a much different Olympic experience this time as compared to the past. Was there any ways that you guys kind of passed the time as a team together, or was it just kind of locked down for most of it?
Yeah, it was pretty locked down. I mean, we were on the road from our send-off games all the way to Tokyo, about 44 days. So it's a lot of time together. And, we would all just kind of hang out in our rooms, pass the time with movies, shows, books, podcasts. But, aside from training and other team meetings and stuff, that was the most exciting bit of the Olympic Games, unfortunately.
Does it ever become overwhelming? I mean, you guys, with everything that happened in the world becoming I think our show is a nice mental vacation for people because we're way too stupid to be giving them actual opinions on things that matter in the real world. We're just talking sports. But because you represent the United States and with everything that was going on in the world, did it ever become too much to be like, not only do you have to be great at soccer, not only do you have to continue to work and continue to get better every single day, but you guys were also becoming like a big part of a political world that was happening out there. Was there ever a moment where it kind of got too much, or nothing that you expected, or hard to stay focused on just the soccer and what's going on the pitch as opposed to everything else that you guys were kind of being, I don't want to say forced, but almost like pressured into becoming? Was that ever too much for you, Carli?
I think everybody's different. I try to live my life as simple as possible. First and foremost, my job is to be the best soccer player that I can be and to help my team win. Those have been my focus and my focus for, the 17 years I've been a part of this team. So, as I've learned throughout the course of my career, you have to block out so much noise. And every year that I've gone on with the national team, it's been different. Social media has obviously come into play a lot more over these last 5 or so years. But I've just tried to be positive. My social media is all about soccer. I love quotes, so I put quotes out. That's really the extent of it. So I tried to just clear my mind of everything else and focus on what I can control and what matters. And that's no different what I did this past trip to Tokyo. Just blocking out everything and making sure that I'm prepped and ready to go.
Do you have big plans for whenever you hang them up and you don't want to play soccer anymore? Whether that be, I think you could be a great TV commentator, I'm sure, talking about soccer, maybe an analyst for the games, coaching. I don't know. What are your plans?
Movie star.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I mean, I do clinics, like one-off clinics where, they're just in and out in 2 hours. I enjoy doing that. I would love to travel more and hit up more cities to be able to do these clinics. My schedule over the last several years is obviously been really tough. I'm not sure I want to do the commentary route. I think that it's a lot of preparation. It's not easy by any means. And I'm not sure that I want to travel and be having to do all that. But I enjoy speaking. So hopefully things start to kind of open back up again and be able to go to colleges, companies, corporations, and whatnot and speak about my story. And then, I'm not sure after that. Obviously, I want to start a family with my husband. I want to do things before starting a family, have some me time, because once you have kids, it's pretty much all over.
That's what I heard.
So that's what I have in mind right now.
That human that asked you that question has 7 kids right there.
No way.
Yeah, he does. He has 7 children out there.
4.
It's absolutely, well, whatever the case. I mean, it seems like they're 7. They're flying around. I would love to have a Carli Lloyd clinic in Pittsburgh I don't know how we go about doing that, but that would be fantastic. Carli, thank you. We're talking to Carli Lloyd, obvious U.S. women's national team legend. Ty Schmidt, go ahead.
Carli, I think it was the last World Cup that you guys were in. An article came out that was dubbing you guys the ugly Americans because you have beaten the hell out of teams for so many years. Is that palpable when you guys go to tournaments? Oh, everyone here hates us and we're getting their best shot. And do you guys feed off that?
I think, being a part of this team, we've always had a target on our backs. We've been the number 1 team for a really long time. We win. We always find a way to win, regardless of what it may look like. So that comes with the territory. But I think it's really important to have a mindset that we aren't the number 1 team in the world, because teams are catching up to us. Teams are pushing us to be even better, which is what we want to see within the women's game. I think you saw that this Olympics. Teams are fit, they're strong, they're sharp. Tactically, they're so much better. So long gone are the days where we just kind of roll up to a game and it's an automatic win.
That's the way that for the sport, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you want to see this. Look at Sweden. Canada, they came away with.
We hate Canada, Carli. Hey, we got a Canadian in here. We hate him too.
Yeah, Canada stinks.
Canada stinks. The worst, dude.
Hate him.
We don't like Canada,
but it's really good. It's really good for the sport. So that's what we want.
Carli, you ever do this before? What?
Look at that.
What? Oh,
very impressed.
Try your left.
The left foot ain't worth a damn. All right, that's why I kicked balls for a living with one leg. That's all I needed. Carli, incredible career thus far. Can't wait to see what you continue to do on the field and in life. We appreciate you so much for, allowing us to be a part of your life here on this beautiful Thursday.
Appreciate it. Great chatting with you guys, and all the best.
Did you say you guys were just listening to our podcast over there? I think I heard you say that the whole time. No. Yeah.
Who? No.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Carli Lloyd. Hey, she was cool, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Whenever she got pitched this show, there was no way in hell she thought, you know what, I should go do that show.
Yeah,
I'm very thankful for her. What